Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks for joining us for the first edition of the 6 p.m. English News this week over the Republican television. Let's begin right away with our headlines. A gang of 6 noted for robbing schools and church institutions in the Central Regional Capital Yaoundé has been apprehended and presented to the press and public this Monday, December 20th, 2021. To help solve the problem of energy supply in the northern part of the country, the Minister of Water and Energy, Gaston Elundu Esomba, has announced the planting of a solar energy in Guide in the North region. Cameroonians are anxiously waiting for the outcome of discussions held between the President of the Confederation of African Football, Patrice Motsepe, and some sports and political authorities of the country regarding the organization of the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations. Those were our headlines. Details in a bit. You're welcome back. As you heard in one of our headlines, a gang of 6 noted for robbing 8 schools and church institutions in the Central Regional Capital Yaoundé has been apprehended and presented to the press and public this Monday, December 20th, 2021. The robbers, according to the Central Regional Delegate of Public Security, have accepted a responsibility of several robbery attacks in schools, including the Presbyterian Church Mesa recently. We have details with Bertrand Tita.
These are 6 bandits noted for robbing school institutions and churches apprehended in Yaoundé.
Centre Regional Division of the Judicial Police, after a 2-month trekking, dismantled a gang of 6 bandits specialized in the robbery of the school's establishment and confessional one in the Central region and in environments. Indeed, in the night of the 24th of September 2021, at around 11 o'clock, 6 masked robbers armed with machetes, knives and nail pullers break into the office of the pastor's apartment of the Presbyterian Church, Cameroon Mesa.
After filing multiples of complaints from different institutions, the police, in partnership with the Information and Technology Unit, launched an investigation that led to the arrest of these men of the underworld.
Through the use of information collected, including the analysis of data provided by the National Agency for Information and Communication Technologies, ANTIC, and other specific police skills, the suspects were apprehended.
The suspects have claimed responsibility of the various acts of robbery in cities of Yaoundé, including Pier 2 School Complex of Hawaii, Frankie Academic Complex at Oja, Ladybird School Group at Tropicana, Greener Pastures International School at Oja, Presbyterian Church in Cameroon at Mesa, among others, taking away cell phones, computers, cash, textbooks and other valuables estimated at 15 million CFA francs. According to the commissioner in charge of the unit of the police,
this opportunity to reassure the population that the police is at work, at your service. We urge all those in charge of school places, places of worship, and other enterprises that they should further strengthen the security of their premises by providing them with video surveillance cameras and maximizing the security personnel. We also encourage them to report such criminals to the police. The toll-free number 1500 operates 24 hours 7.
It is therefore necessary for one to be very vigilant against these men of the underworld, especially during this festive period. The victims will therefore be handed over to the judiciary for justice to take its full course.
Let's now talk about a very interesting event that took place at the headquarters of Camdis Television this December 20th, 2021. Some newly appointed officials of Camdis Television have officially been installed into office this Monday, December 20th, 2021. Presided over the installation ceremony was the CEO of Camdis Television, who urged them to work tirelessly for Camdis Television to be a reference channel to others, as Diane Nenkam tells us in the following report.
Appointed Acting General Manager, Deputy General Manager, Director of Information, Director in charge of Sovereign Affairs, and Editor-in-Chief, respectively. These officials of Camdis Television, appointed this December 17th, 2021, have officially been installed into office this Monday, December 20th, 2021. Presiding over the installation ceremony, the Chief Executive Officer of Camdis TV charged the newly appointed with the utmost responsibility of making Camdis TV a reference channel in the country. Loyalty, fidelity, and teamwork are his major prescriptions. To the newly installed, they are indeed conscious of the challenges that await them and are ready to take them up bravely.
I've been in Camdis TV almost since the beginning of this adventure. This journey, I know we are waiting, people in the house are waiting for programs in our channel. They want to see what is going on in Cameroon through a diverse program, an interesting one. So we are going to do our best to fill our TV with new program as far as information concerned. We are going, the first challenge is to build a program in every domain, every big domain of the actuality, namely politics, economy, society, culture, and sport. We already have a very interesting one in sport. So we count on all the collaborators, all the police, to accompany us in this huge responsibility.
It is a new era that opens, therefore, in Camdis Television, with changes expected to be evident in just a matter of time. Good luck, then, to the new team.
We continue with that story to say, as the new acting general manager of Camdis Television, Tabby Clarkson, a young previously serving as the director of information, has expressed his wish to work in close collaboration with his colleagues, paying particular attention to teamwork, which, according to him, is a great step to achieving the desired successes. Let's now listen to the acting general manager in an excerpt carefully selected by Diane Nenkam.
I know it is, everybody's waiting to see what Tabby Clarkson will bring, but believe me, when you are appointed Director General of a TV house of this nature, you have to bring it something, and we hope that we shall bring you something, because the experience that we have, over 20 years experience, I think I will not have to actually disclose my strategies here, but believe me, we are working on it already, and Camdis will never be the same again. It's true that we have moved from point A to point B, now we shall be moving to point C. As I said some times ago, that in some few months Camdis will be among the best televisions in Cameroon and in Africa. By then I was Director of Information. Today I'm the General Manager. I equally want to thank the President for appointing me, for giving me that confidence, for bestowing that confidence in me. I simply want to think that we shall work all of us together to make Camdis a place to be, to make Camdis to be envied by all. And once again I say that Camdis is on a good footing.
As you heard in one of our lead stories, the Minister of Water and Energy, Gaston Elundu Esomba, has announced the planting of a solar energy in Gide in the North region. This is to help solve the problem of energy supply in the northern part of the country. He was speaking during a visit to the Lagdo Dam recently in a bid to regulate energy supply in the country during and after the African Cup of Nations. We have details of this story with Bertrand Tita.
The drop in the water level at the Lagdo Dam is the cause of the glaring energy deficit in the northern part of Cameroon. The Minister of Mine, Water and Energy, Gaston Elundu, went out into the field, in particular on the hydroelectric dam of Lagdo, in order to examine this drop in the water level.
This year, you have not enough water, so the production decrease when you compare with what you have last year. So Ahala thermal dam is not sufficient to satisfy the population here. That's why you want to increase production by solar station, by another thermal station.
After this observation, suitable solutions are considered to guarantee the availability and production of energy. In this perspective, the installation of solar trucks of Gouda is planned, which will produce an additional 30 megawatts before the Africa Cup of Nations Can Total Energy Cameroon 2021.
Enough water in hydroelectric dam of Lagdo this year. This is the main problem. There is no water. So the production decreases year by year. And the problem is, what can you do? What is the solution? The head of state instruct to find solar solution. That is why you are going to move to Gide to see what you are doing there. You have a new station, new solar station you are installing there, and with this station you are sure that the first megawatt will be available before the can, and you have another thermal station which would be installed there before the beginning of the can. This solution will permit to increase the production for the populations.
The President of the Republic of Cameroon, His Excellency Paul Biya, in his quest, wants to resolve the problem linked to energy deficit in the northern part of the country. This will contribute to the emergence of Cameroon due for 2035.
Let's now talk education, where students studying the German language in the University of Yaoundé 1 have celebrated the 18th edition of the International Conference of Mathematics of the Inter-African Group. The ceremony that took place in the campus of the University of Yaoundé 1 brought together students from different faculties in a bid to valorize German language. And Omeko was present. Her report.
It is an atmosphere of ambience, relaxation and exchange among students in the departments of German and other students from different departments of the University of Yaoundé 1 as they gathered to celebrate the 18th edition of the International Intermediative Research Conference of Research Group in Geometry, Analysis and Analytical, December 17, 2021, in the University of Yaoundé 1 campus.
Germany. So I'm so grateful to know that we can come together in a party like this one to share what the students are able to do concerning the German language, culture and civilization. Each year they organize such a party so that all the students can come together with their lecturers, and together they can see and evaluate how far they have gone during the year and what they can also expect for the future.
The 18th edition is coupled with the installation of bureau members, a task well embraced by the new members.
We have a lot of projects that we look at a lot of students don't interest about the cultural activities, but there are a lot of opportunities to live in German association students to participate in this activity. They can meet our partners like Cassie, like Rix that are good, and we will do better to increase our visibility in our faculty.
So far from studies, these students are very creative.
German students can improve or can ameliorate the society through another society, through another branch of activity. And the German, as a leader, as a middle in the society, can improve the society, or can contribute to ameliorate the society.
A historic celebration, a unifying factor and way to give importance to the German language. The ceremony is graced with musical interludes in the German language and more.
Still in connection to that story, during the event, Jacob Ngasa from the Department of Art and Archaeology paints a picture of a primary school child carrying a message of peace and unity. Let's listen to him in an excerpt carefully selected by Ann Omiko.
Actually, this is a painting on a canvas. The reason or the message behind it is seeking for peace. It is a child that is psychologically handicapped. That means you can see she is dressed in a school uniform, a government school uniform. We try to represent the situation that is going on from the southwest and the northwest. She cannot go to school, you can see the plant behind. It's a peace plant. So we try to portray a message begging the government to look for peace, so that children over there can be psychologically fit, or they should not be handicapped, because now they are there, they don't go to school, anything can happen to them. So it's a message trying to beg for peace, that children over there will have that knowledge that us here in the central region have.
The Minister of State, Minister of Higher Education, Professor Jacques Faminogo, has presided over the handing over ceremony of certificates to international experts trained in management and operation of university digital development centers in Cameroon. With the centers fully equipped and ready for use, Cameroon now positions herself as a leader in technological innovation in matters of distance education in the Central African sub-region. We have Ann Omeko once more.
The National Supervision Center for the University Digital Development in Cameroon was the theater of the closing ceremony of the first ever training session for national experts in the management and operation of University Digital Development Centers last Friday, 17th December 2021 in Yaoundé. The ceremony was presided over by the Minister of State, Minister of Higher Education and Grand Chancellor of Academic Orders, Jacques Faminogo. The handing over of certificates this Friday was a turning point in the higher education digital revolution pioneered by the President of the Republic.
These ultra-modern infrastructures allow for a digital leap in our higher education system. Cameroon higher education system, which is the beneficiary of this center, will thus be properly involved in the global university cybernetic space. I would like to recall here with great emphasis that these centers and the entire national higher education project, which were designed by the President of the Republic, Head of State, His Excellency Obia, before the COVID-19 global pandemic, are testimony to his futuristic vision of the development of our country, Cameroon.
The laureates were trained by Chinese experts from the Sichuan Telecom Engineering Company Limited, who also received certificates of recognition for a job well done. They are now ready to get down to business.
expert, the Cameroonian expert have just received, the certificate regarding the training they have received during 3 months from the Chinese expert and also Huawei, in order to know how to manage the digital transformation centers. They have followed the program, the training regarding the infrastructure and the software. Actually, they are ready to go in order to manage technically the functioning of these IT centers.
The project manager from the Chinese company, Mrs. Charlotte Leiling, handed over symbolic gift to the higher education boss, while the Cameroonian senior experts all praised the visionary leadership of the President of the Republic, His Excellency Paul Biya, who back in 2016 launched the digital revolution in the country even before the COVID-19 pandemic ever broke out. Cameroon's national e-learning project is resolutely on a good footing.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are sorry for that mix-up. That was instead a report from Isaac Ngongkum. We remain in education, where professional degree holders in agriculture, forestry and agri-business sectors met over the weekend at the Yaoundé Congress Hall to strategize on how to work in synergy to develop the social economy of Cameroon. The opening ceremony was chaired by the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Gabriel Bairobe. We have an Umeko.
Time has come for professional degree holders in agriculture, forestry and agribusiness to strategize and work in synergy by creating a fraternity spirit in promoting agriculture in its broadest sense in Cameroon. The government, quite impressed with this move, calls on actors of the association to be visible and assures government's support.
The visibility of your actors will only be reinforced if you unite and put together all the diverse profiles available. I can assure you today that our doors will always remain open to the Executive Bureau members, in line with His Excellency President Paul Biya's idea on innovative second-generation agriculture. I hope that after exchanges with competent experts, there will certainly be other moves to fight against poverty.
With specific visions, the association will address some complex situations during this General Assembly.
You have a growing demography which is moving very fast. We have the fourth industrial revolution, which is around the corner. And we are talking about the sustainable development, which requires also that we preserve the environment more than we used to do in the past. And for that, we need a vision which could integrate all these aspects of changes.
Everyone is involved in the move to achieve a knowledge in agriculture.
We are positioning ourselves as a legal structure which would mostly be providing counseling for a knowledge-based agriculture, a more inclusive, not forgetting anybody, taking care of what they call today the 5 Ps: people, planet, prosperity, peace, and partnership.
A new journey and process largely backed up by the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development and other ministries towards developing the social economy of Cameroon.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, you're watching the 6 p.m. English news over the Republican television. Let's now talk sport, but with this cover shot where Cameroonians are anxiously waiting for the outcome of discussions held between the president of the Confederation of African Football, Dr. Patrice Motsepe, and some sport and political authorities of the country regarding the organization of the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations. Dr. Patrice Motsepe arrived Cameroon earlier today at a time when speculations of the possible postponement of the African football bonanza are rife. He was received at the Yaoundé Simalen International Airport by Fcfa President Samuel Etofis and CAF Secretary General Ferron Musengo Omba. Let's now take a listen to the first declaration of Dr. Patrice Mutsepe when he arrived at the Yaoundé Simalen International Airport this morning.
It's our home, it's the home for Africa, and we will talk tomorrow and give you feedback. We are very clear in terms of our commitment to make the AFCON a success in Cameroon. So we will talk tomorrow and give you more feedback, but I'm very confident that we will work together with the people of Cameroon, who are a proud football nation, who have made Cameroon proud and Africa proud. And I'm confident that in our meetings, both today and tomorrow, we will be able to come out of here and give the world, give Africa and give the world the confidence that we have, the commitment to our people in Cameroon, and the commitment to the development and growth of football in Africa. So we'll give you feedback tomorrow.
Thank you very much and welcome home.
Thank you.
We continue with sport, where football continues to play a very important role in promoting peace and living together in Cameroon, as both young and old folks are likely taking pleasure in practicing this sporting every weekend. Some 2 new clubs even organized championship, as was the case of the Anglophone Brothers Championship tournament that rounded off in Yaoundé over the weekend. We have Isaac Ngonkum in the following report.
Football is almost a religion in Cameroon. Both the young and the old come together on weekends to shake off the stress of the week in a light and entertaining atmosphere.
We come here every Sunday to play and to keep the body fit, unlike to remove stress, because during the week we are workers. When we work, we have just one day to play, which is Sunday. So when we come on Sunday, we play, and then after this, as you can see, everybody is enjoying he or herself here.
This Sunday, 19th December 2021, was however special for the 2-0 football clubs in the Yaoundé 6 subdivision. It was the final of the ABC tournament, won by the Santa Veterans Football Club of Yaoundé after beating the Friends of Biamasi 2-1.
We have put in much work. It was not easy, and we finally triumphed. And we were aware of the threats of our opponent, and we make sure we limited them in one way or the other.
Just like other 2-0 competitions, the ABC tournament seeks to promote love and brotherhood among participants.
Because of the crisis that caused most of our brothers, the IDPs, especially the talented ones, to have migrated the other way of the country to the Francophone side, we noticed that it would be very difficult for them to accept the cultural shock that was this way. So we thought of creating a competition that will keep them busy, especially during when we have their idle period. They are not in active service.
An initiative well appreciated by the head coach of the Intermediate Lions of Cameroon.
I think that is very a good idea to organize those type of competition, because it concerns the animation of our football.
To the patron of the competition, all is well that ends well.
It started as an Anglophone tournament, but it's a tournament for living together. We have Anglophones, Francophones, and people from out of the country playing the tournament.
2-0 football clubs in Yaoundé are fast becoming part and parcel of urban life, and social actors continue using it as a tool to preach the gospel of peace, unity and living together in Cameroon. A bottle of juice and a plate of hot pepper soup always accompanies such friendly games.
And on to news out of the country, clashes erupted between angry youth and local police, resulting in several injuries and the death of a policeman this Monday in Goma in the Democratic Republic of Congo, following a protest on the arrival of Rwanda's security agent in the region. We have this story and more in the following report. Hundreds of Goma in North Kivu residents in the Democratic Republic of Congo are protesting the arrival of Rwanda's security agents in the region. Clashes erupted this Monday between angry youths and local police, resulting in several injuries and claimed the death of a policeman. The police dispersed the demonstrators with tear gas canisters and live ammunition. Nevertheless, it should be recorded that on Saturday, the General Commissioner of the Congolese National Police denied this allegation, saying no external police were to come to Goma. The relation between the Central African Republic and European Union is getting sour, according to the European Union in Bangui. This is after the European Union temporarily suspended its training mission for the Central African Armed Forces due to control exercised by mercenaries from the Wagner Company. The Central African Republic has been the scene of a civil war since 2013, which declined in intensity after 2018, even though large cover of territory continued to escape the Central Power in Bangui. According to France and the European Union, the Central African Armed Forces, in conjunction with the Wagner Group, have led to a vast counter-offensive against rebel groups since the beginning of the year. The European Union has therefore this Monday sanctioned the Wagner Group, 8 people, and 3 companies linked to it for destabilizing actions in Ukraine and several African countries. The UN warned this Monday that about 1 in 4 people in Somalia are at risk in severe hunger as a result of a drought that has hit the country ravaged by decades of war after 3 seasons of poor rainfall. The UN expects the crisis to worsen and 4.6 million people will need food aid by May 2022, as the country has not experienced 3 consecutive rainy seasons in more than 30 years. Shortages of food, water and pastures have already forced 169,000 people from their homes, a number that could rise to 1.4 million within 6 months. According to the UN, some 7.7 million people, nearly half of Somalia's population of 15.9 million people, will need humanitarian assistance and protection in 2002, a 30% in 1 year. Ladies and gentlemen, that news out of the country takes us to the end of our 6 p.m. English news over the Republican television. Desiree Trésor Bonnet will be with you when it's exactly 8 p.m. for news in the French language. But until then, do stay glued to interesting programs over Camde's television. Thanks for watching.